In a world of glitz and glam, flashing lights and screaming fans, most people are unaware of the war that rages behind the scenes. And that war includes your favorite artist and your favorite songs. This is The Dark Side of Songwriting. Hosted by Nayim Edwards.
Welcome to The Dark Side of Songwriting. My name is Nayim Edwards and I am your host. Today, let's just start where the chaos is right now and the outrage is right now. Irv Gotti supposedly sold his masters for $300 million, right? And his masters is all the Murder Inc. music, all the music he owns, anything he owns, anything he has ownership, right? So when you actually look at the article, he talks about how he went 50-50 on his masters. He got $100 million for 50% of his publishing and his masters recordings, and the other 50% Universal kept or whatever, right? And then the other $200 million was a line of credit that he got so he can get into his TV thing, get into his film thing, you know, do that boo bop, whatever. This ain't really so much about Irv Gotti as it is a warning and a message about how crazy it is. But actually, it really is about Irv Gotti, because why the fuck would you do that? Like, real talk. It makes you wonder if these motherfuckers is broke. It makes you wonder if these people are struggling to do or get whatever. Like, let's make no mistake about Irv Gotti being the legend that he is. Irv Gotti being the staple, the fucking genius, all hail Irv Gotti, right? One of the most brilliant minds to come out of this fucking culture ever. He's given us straight legends. Everybody he's given us has been fucking fire. Everything he's given us is amazing. Irv Gotti does not miss, does not make bad music. Still a fucking genius. Still everything, right? And he actually gonna get his own series, because there's so many things and so many lessons we can talk about and so many points that you can learn from even in your regular life, right? I don't even know which one to fucking tackle first. I'm thinking about it because I don't want to be all uptight about this, but it blows my mind when we actually have a winner in this culture. Somebody who actually retains the rights for the music that they helped create, for the music that they created. They have it, it's theirs. And they get long in the tooth, gray in the hair, and they decide to, I want to do other ventures, and I need a way to fund other ventures. So to fund my other ventures, I'm going to sell something that's going to be valuable for as long as people are listening to music. That is so fucking crazy to me, and there's no other word I can put there but fucking crazy, because with everything that is happening, everything that is going on, as far as this strange ass shit that's been happening in this music business, the biggest artists, the most successful artists dropping music all at the same time, everybody's selling their fucking music. It makes you think, why don't you just want to wait until you accumulate what you need, or wait till you get enough to go get your own loan? Why did you have to give your music away that those motherfuckers at that bank didn't put in the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in? Those motherfuckers at that fucking whatever the fuck everything, they didn't sacrifice long nights. They didn't have some brilliant, elaborate plan that they came up with to make life-changing, world-changing music, business ideas, especially with all the shit that you've been through, the fight that you even had to fight when you had to go to war with the United States government because they accused you of all type of laundering and aiding and abetting and all this other shit when you was just helping a nigga out from your neighborhood, you would think that you would want to hold on to what you went broke for and got your money back for. Because let's make no mistake, nothing but legends has come out of Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti spit legends out. So all the music he got is fucking valuable. And we're gonna talk about the artist in a minute. But we gotta talk about this. So what you might be asking, what the fuck is a master recording? It is the final version of the song. Everything's done to it. This is what we packaging. This is what we shipping. This is what it is. Polished up, all good. Who owns the rights? Who owns the publishing? Who owns the song? That is what the master recording is. It's like that slave shit. I am the master. I own this no matter what. They have no say. Whoever retains the most or whoever retains a part, they have that much a percentage of the part. So if he owns 100% of the Murder Meat Inc. masters, before the deal of course, he has 100% of the say of what happens with this song, what happens with these albums, what happens with this music. Can I license this music to your movie? This fucking artist over there don't have no say on if your song gets put in a movie if somebody else owns the rights to the song. You know what I'm saying? They can use your song in a commercial, and in turn, anything that comes from these recordings, I retain however much money that I'm supposed to get from the master recording, from the publishing, from the royalties. That's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother day, but that is just the gist of what this is. So he owns his music. This music generates money. Universal gave him $100 million for 50%. So let's just say the masters was worth $200 million. I think the article he said his masters was worth $200 million, right? Don't you think the fact that they were willing to say we're gonna keep half and give you your $100 million, they know how much more valuable the catalog is? Because they're gonna make their $100 million back, and we're not even gonna go. We can actually fuck it. We're gonna go slip into the dark shit. They're gonna make their $100 million back. A scandal happens. One of these motherfuckers die. A resurgence of any type of information. Anything that comes out about any of these artists and any of these people, they're gonna absolutely make their money back, probably tenfold. And my thing is, my problem with this shit is, why are you so focused on, and I get being focused on the now. I understand being caught up in right now. I don't give a fuck about all this other shit. I'm trying to do this shit right now, and I need $100 million. So you got $100 million to do whatever you do for 50% of the rights plus $200 million in credit. You mean to tell me you're not in a financial place as an executive to get your own $200 million credit? They might have explained. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't even make more sense because, again, these motherfuckers at these banks didn't do nothing to move this culture except move people into the grave so they can collect on their policies and their insurance and all type of shit. My thing is, just a question as somebody just looking at the situation, because we all know what happens behind the scenes. You need the money. You don't want to fund shit yourself. It's not your shit. Like, and this be another thing with these motherfuckers. It's valuable, but I'm gonna sell it because I have the potential to make more money somewhere else doing something bigger, and I'm gonna recoup everything I sold. The thing about it is, that's a steady check no matter what. And 50% ain't really a bad sale, but it's like, I'm not giving you 50% of anything. I did the fucking work. I did that. Now let's talk about, like, with that, it's just like, but it's a boss move. That's what masters do. You can do what the fuck you want to. It's your shit. You can sell it. He's going to be fine. Irv Gotti's going to be fine. Let's talk about everybody else, right? the DMXs, that little bit of Jay-Z, that little bit of this, the Cash Money Click, and any music, Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd, any music that came out of Murder Inc. or just for the sake of this, up under the Irv Gotti umbrella, right? So you're an artist. This is just, I'm telling you what this is. You are an artist. You have a dream. You come in to this industry starry-eyed. You don't know anything. You haven't done your education. And you know, back then, that was a time where you just looked for whoever was in charge to tell you what it was. That's why so many of these people end up getting rawed. Like, rawed, dogged, hard, really bad, frequently, right? So you're getting fucked. And instead of taking precautions and seeing that what's in front of you absolutely exists, but what's behind that is so much bigger, and the world is so much bigger than how far you can see right here, right now, how far I can reach right here, right now, that you would take whatever is handed to you right here and you just think, oh, I'm going to be XYZ and I'm not going to have to worry about all that other shit, even though there's so many cautionary tales that's happened before you. You're not worried about the future if you own your shit. You're not worried about the future of your career. You're not worried about how good your business is right here, right now. So it is just like a lot of these people came through the door with moderate leverage because they had to be put out there in a way for we can see them, and they were marketed to us in this crazy ass way. So you one of them where the marketing was real. It had to be, get out here, touch the people, they're gonna fuck with you, we got all the resources. People should absolutely get paid for funding your career. I will never be against that. But you didn't see the vision, and you didn't believe in yourself enough to think that you were going to actually have a successful musical future. And the end result ends up being somebody that could give a fuck less about your intellectual property and intellectual label. Because, like, let's stop, because it's not your intellectual property once you hand it over to somebody else and they have complete control over what happens with what you created. What do? You know, you can complain. A lot of these cases, a lot of these people fucking wait 50 years, then your masters will return, but the bulk and the majority of the money has already been sucked out, and you better hope you become a fucking legend in order to get your music back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is so wicked. And it's this never-ending perpetual cycle, because let's be honest, most people do not become legends. Most people do not become Ja Rule. Most people do not become Ashanti. Most people damn sure don't become DMX or Jay-Z or any of these other people. You know, most people don't become Lloyd. Like, so imagine how many times, like, this happens every fucking day with regular fucking artists who say, I'm gonna sign everything over, I'm gonna give up on my dream, and maybe in the future I'll be able to catch up with what I gave up. The biggest problem is you can't give up on your dream right now thinking that you're going to be able to run and catch up with your dream later on. In this real plane that we live on, that does not happen. If you give up on it now and you give up everything now, there is no catching up on it. There is no, you're going to have to be 50 Cent to catch up on something and giving it up now. And nowadays, they're not going to allow you to be able to get out of that. That's why language is so important. Language is literally would, could, should, maybe, will, might. All these words mean different things, especially when they're presented to you on a piece of paper, talking about in 5 years you might get. We will return up to. You will receive X. All of these have different meanings. And if you took the time out to just think before you decided, not even think, if you took the time out to, well, think, please. But if you took the time out to look at what's in front of you and then realize how much further back this shit actually goes, and that time and life does go on. We all have this thing where we assume we're going to wake up tomorrow. We assume we're going to live to the end of the day. You got to think like that with your business. So, Irv Gotti having control over all these people's music, all these people's whatever, getting all this money or whatever, that's just a part of the game. You got to ask yourself as a musician. You have to look at a musician and say, what the fuck they give up, because most of them are never going to tell you what really happened. You're going to have somebody, because somebody like me, I can look at how an artist acts and I can tell what type of situation that they're in. And we're going to talk about that. We are absolutely going to talk about that. And we're going to discuss the signs of artists that are in fucked up situations, artists that are in good situations, and artists that are just kind of doing, they're just kind of breaking even. That's something for another day. We're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to talk about Ashanti's first album. We're going to talk about that relationship dynamic when it comes to this music shit, because a lot of people don't talk about the business and the pleasure. And I hate to do back to back with folks, but this shit is just very necessary. Like, it's so fucked up. You put your blood, your sweat, and your fucking tears in it, and you decide that you're just trying to catch up, and you just have an idea so great that you're willing to give up ownership of all of the work that you put in, Irv, and everybody else that just has to take the arrows, take the bullets, take the abuse, take everything, because they don't have no control. They're slaves to a master who is a slave to whatever masters he has. This is the dark side of songwriting. I am your host, Nayim Edwards, and I will holler at you.